Host immune to BS. Well, in this video, we're going to be discussing the flat Earth map, which has been a hot topic in the flat Earth land as of late. And we're going to be looking at the Gleason map very closely. And I'll tell you why. I firmly believe that that is the best representation of our actual world, the Earth, and the flat plane we live in. And I'm going to explain to you why I feel that is. Now, I decided to compare the two Australias, the one from the flat Earth from the Gleason map and the one from the Google Earth map, or the globe, if you will. And the two land masses on the two maps have a very, very different look and orientation. What is interesting, though, is that when you compare the actual points on the maps, they're identical. For instance, right here we're looking at the Tropic of Capricorn. And you can see the geographical distinctions. You have the little bays, or whatever they want to call it, the peninsulas. And if you look up on the Gleason map, you have the exact same features, and the Tropic of Capricorn comes across the exact same point at the exact same coordinates. And so you can see down at the bottom there are the peninsulas, and right above is the Tropic of Capricorn, and then on the Gleason map it's the exact same way. It's just the maps on here are oriented a little bit differently because of one's a ball and one's a flat plane. So we look at where the Tropic of Capricorn exits out, and you'll notice the same thing. The points and the geographic features are identical. I mean, you can see them. For instance, there's a little peninsula there, right above the Tropic of Capricorn. There's one right below it with a little hook-like feature of the terrain. And then when you go to the Gleason map, you have the same thing at the exact same point of where the Tropic of Capricorn comes out. You can see that the features are identical in the same location, but the land masses themselves look completely different. So then I decided to let's look at latitude lines. And I think I went to a 135 on this one here. 135 east. And as you can see, you can tell by the geographic points that when you look at the Gleason map and zoom in, and you notice the 135 degrees is exactly where it goes through. So there's a distinct look, but yet all the coordinates match up perfectly. So we have a question: how can that be? So what I did is I decided to look at the Gleason map a little closer, a little more detail. And this is what I found. Okay. So when looking at the Gleason map, you'll notice that the overall design is that it's in a clock-like format. And actually, it is a clock. But you'll notice that they had a little tool in the center that spun around the map that gave you the lines of latitude. The 75 degree, the 60 degree, the 40 degree, the 35 degree, 30 degree, so forth. And so what I did is I decided to highlight those on the map just to get a better visual, because some of the lines are not as dark as they are. I want to know exactly where the equator is and the Tropic of Cancer and so forth. starting from the center, we can start by circling the 75-degree line, and followed by the 60-degree line. Next comes the 45-degree line, and then the 30-degree line. Notice these are in 15-degree increments. Then we got the 15-degree, which is the Tropic of Cancer. And then comes the equator, which is a 0-degree line. And now we head south. So now we have 15 degrees south, which is the Tropic of Capricorn. And then 30 degrees south. And then 45 degrees south. And then we have the 60 degrees south. Whoa, wait a minute here. What happened to the 75 degrees south? I think I just found our problem. It would appear the flat Earth is not equal in the land masses between the North Pole and the equator, and the equator and the South Pole. So, what does that mean? Well, what that means is that when somebody decided to create a globe out of the flat Earth, they did not have two equal halves to make into a sphere. So they had to elongate and stretch and do everything else to make it work. Because there's a 15-degree difference or missing of latitude. So in order to make it a perfect sphere or ball, they had to stretch things out. That's why everything looks distorted. And from what I can tell, and this one was just conjecture on my part, but from what I can tell, it looks like they started from the top, from the North Pole area, and everything got stretched incrementally as it went down, all the way down to the quote-unquote South Pole. Now, everything about this map makes complete sense in our world. I mean, it is a clock. Our world is a clock. We have 24 hours a day, 12 hours of daylight, 12 hours of darkness. Not all the time, but you understand what I'm saying. Even the time zones make perfect sense on this map. So this is the representation of the time zones that they give us. Does this make any sense to you? Or does this make more sense? The hours on the clock are the different time zones. Everywhere you look on this map, everything we need to know about the world we live in is right in front of you. I find this Brian Clark, that he supposedly quote-unquote found the flat earth map from 1920 in the Library of Congress. Wow. Shocking. And what do you know? This funky looking little map has the latitude lines all the way out to 90 degrees. When the Gleason map only goes out to a little over 60. So, because they need the 90 degrees to be able to make a full circle of the globe. So, all these attacks on the map, and they know they have to attack the map. The map is the key. They know that there are lies. We have to expose the lies that they created a ball out of a map that is flat. Because that's what it represents. The Earth is flat. It's not a sphere rotating at thousands of miles an hour. It is a stationary plane. And it operates like a clock. It works like a clock. It even ticks like a clock.